Jai Hind students, welcome to my YouTube channel. Students, I will begin this session with the saying that there are most of the people who dream of accomplishing great things. And there are few people, students, who stay awake and make it happen. Those few people are successful in their life. What I mean to say is that, students, dream big, add wings to your imagination, never ever hesitate to fly high, but avoid any sort of daydreaming. Dream big, have vision, have goal, have that ambition, but it must be followed by proportionate action. You need to dedicate yourself completely towards your dream in materializing it, in achieving it. Clear, students? So, let's begin this session. In the previous lecture, we have discussed about the conversion of galvanometer into an ammeter and conversion of galvanometer into a voltmeter. Now, in this session, we will discuss some selected numericals based on MCG, that is moving coil galvanometer, and conversion of galvo into ammeter and voltmeter, right? So students, let's start with the first question. The current sensitivity of a galvanometer increases by 40% when the resistance is increased by a factor of 2. Find out the corresponding change in the voltage sensitivity. So, you need to remember the formula. Current sensitivity, you are aware, it is the deflection produced in the coil per unit current, isn't it? And what is the formula for the current sensitivity? It is actually NBA divided by C. N is the total number of turns, B is the strength of the magnetic field, A is the area of the coil under consideration, and C is the torsional constant. It is the restoring torque developed in the suspension wire per unit twist. And students, what about the voltage sensitivity? It is the deflection produced in the coil per unit potential difference applied across its ends. And it is given by NBA divided by CR. R is the resistance offered by the coil. Right? So as per the question, new current sensitivity, let us represent it by CS dash. It is equal to 40% more than that of the original current sensitivity. That is 40% of original current sensitivity plus current sensitivity. So new current sensitivity is found to be 40% greater than that of the original current sensitivity. So if you solve it, obviously it will give you 1.4 times the original current sensitivity. Am I clear, students? The new current sensitivity is given to be 40% more. So it will be 1.4 times the original current sensitivity. Now, for a given galvanometer, the strength of the magnetic field, the torsional constant of a given suspension wire, that will remain constant, isn't it? So new current sensitivity can be written as N dash B A dash divided by C is equal to 1.4 times the original current sensitivity, that is NBA divided by C. Look, due to the change in the resistance, or resistance is increased or decreased, it can be done either by increasing the number of turns or by changing the area, isn't it? So anyway, so N dash A dash is the new value of number of turns and new area, let's assume it, right, for the new current sensitivity. So after solving it, what you get is N dash A dash, it will be equal to 1.4 times NA. Put this as equation 1. And students, remember, for a given galvanometer, torsional constant for a given suspension wire, it should be constant. Strength of the magnetic field for the given concave poles, it will remain constant, isn't it? So, this is it. N dash A dash is equal to 1.4 times NA. Now it is given the resistance is increased by a factor of 2. R dash is given to be twice R, and we are supposed to find out the corresponding change in the voltage sensitivity. Now look, new voltage sensitivity. It would be equal to NBACR is the original voltage sensitivity. So new voltage sensitivity would be N dash B A dash divided by C R dash. The resistance has been increased by a factor of 2, right? So NA, that might get changed, right? In order that resistance be changed, the number of turns and A might get changed. So that's why I've written N dash A dash over here. So let's substitute the value. What is N dash A dash? It's 1.4 NA. C. What is R dash? It is twice R. It's given. New resistance is equal to twice. The resistance has been increased by a factor of 2. So what do we get is, students? New voltage sensitivity, it is equal to 0.7, 1.4 divided by 2. That will give us 0.7 NBA by CR. That is original voltage sensitivity. So this is the answer. Now we need to interpret this obtained result, right? New voltage sensitivity is 0.7 times the original voltage sensitivity. So it is 70% of the original voltage sensitivity. Or in other words, students, the voltage sensitivity decreases by 30%. So you can write the voltage sensitivity decreases by 30%. Clear? So this is the answer. So if the resistance is increased by a factor of 2 and the current sensitivity is increased by 40%, then the voltage sensitivity of the galvanometer will get decreased by 30%, as we have discussed over here. So students, we are done with question number 1. Now let's concentrate on the second question then. Let me read the question for you. A galvanometer coil has a resistance of 12 ohm and the meter shows full scale deflection for a current of 3 milliampere. How will you convert the meter into a voltmeter of range 0 to 18 volt? Students, we are already aware how to convert a galvanometer into a voltmeter. In order that a given galvanometer be converted into a voltmeter, a high resistance wire is to be connected in series to the given galvanometer, right? So this is the procedure basically. This is the galvanometer and a high resistance wire is to be connected in series. And this is the current for which the galvanometer shows full scale deflection, that's IG. In series, current through the high resistance wire would also remain same. So what was the value of this R? It was obtained to be V over IG minus G. This is the formula which is to be used over here, right? So let's note down the given information. Resistance of the galvanometer is given to be 12, right? The meter shows full scale deflection for a current of 3 ampere, 3 milliampere actually. So IG is given to be 3 into 10 to minus 3 ampere. And it has to be converted, this galvanometer has to be converted into a voltmeter of range 0 to 18 volt. So it should measure a maximum potential difference of 18 volt. This series combination of galvanometer and high resistance wire constitutes a voltmeter. So this is the scenario, right? So let's calculate the value of capital R then. So capital R, which is the high resistance wire which is to be connected in series to the given galvanometer, would be given by V over IG. V is 18, IG is 3 into 10 to minus 3, minus, this is the resistance of the galvanometer, it is given to be 12 ohm, minus 12. So what we get is 6 into 10 to 3 minus 12. So it is 6000 minus 12. So 8. 5988 ohm. So students, this is the answer. And after obtaining the value of capital R, you need to write the theoretical statement that this R, the above high resistance wire, this is high resistance wire, is to be connected in series with the given galvanometer coil. This is absolutely mandatory to write this theoretical statement. Clear, students? So this is how the galvanometer may be converted into a voltmeter of a given range. So we are over with question number 2 as well. Let's proceed to question number 3. Question number 3 is a question which is based on the conversion of galvanometer into an ammeter. So here goes question number 3. A galvanometer of resistance 15 ohm gives full scale deflection for a current of 2 milliampere. Calculate the shunt resistance needed to convert it to an ammeter of range 0 to 5 ampere. So students, you must remember, in order to convert a galvanometer into an ammeter, a low resistance wire, which is known as shunt, it is to be connected in parallel to the given galvanometer, right? So this is the galvanometer coil, and in order to convert it into an ammeter, a low resistance wire known as shunt, it is to be connected in parallel. So this parallel combination of galvanometer and low resistance wire shunt constitutes an ammeter, right? So suppose I is the current flowing through the main circuit. This will act as a junction. So here the maximum safe value of current that can be passed through the galvanometer is Ig. So the rest of the current, that is I minus Ig, will flow through the shunt, isn't it? And the value of the shunt is given by Ig, capital G, divided by I minus Ig. If you are unable to remember this formula, then you need to do a simple step. Since these two are in parallel, therefore potential difference across galvanometer would be equal to the potential difference across the shunt. And then you will get this expression, right? No need to cram anything. Just remember the concepts. Okay, now let's discuss what's given in the question. The galvanometer resistance is given to be 15 ohm. It gives full scale deflection for a current of 2 milliampere. That is Ig, it's given to be 2 milliampere, 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 ampere. And it has to be converted into an ammeter of range 0 to 5 ampere. So I, the maximum value of current which this ammeter can read, is 5 ampere. Let's substitute the value over here and we should get the value of S. So what you get is Ig, it's 2 into 10 to the power minus 3. G is the resistance of the galvanometer. I is 5 minus Ig is 2 into 10 to the power minus 3. Right? 2 into 10 to the power, this is minus 3. Okay. So what you get is 15 2, that is 30 into 10 to the power minus 3 divided by. Now concentrate on this term, students. It is 5 minus 0.002. It would be equal to 4.998, isn't it? Which is approximately 5 only. So this term is extremely small as compared to this term. 5 minus 0.2 into 10 to the minus 3 is 0.002. So it will come to be about 4.998. That can be approximately considered to be 5 itself. So it will be equal to 6 into 10 to the power minus 3 ohm, or 0.006 ohm. So this is the value of this shunt, which is to be connected in parallel to the given galvanometer coil so as to convert it into an ammeter of range 0 to 5 ampere. Again, I must remind you, after getting the numerical value of S, you need to write that theoretical statement, right? So this theoretical statement is important. This shunt is to be connected in parallel to the given coil. This theoretical statement is absolutely mandatory. Right? After getting the numerical value of S, you need to write theoretically that this value of shunt is to be connected in parallel to the galvanometer so as to convert the galvanometer into an ammeter of suitable range. So this is how we have discussed in question number 2 and 3 how a galvanometer may be converted into an ammeter and a voltmeter. Clear, students? Okay, let's concentrate on question number 4 then. It's again pretty simple one based on simple concepts. Okay, question number 4 then. A galvanometer has a resistance of 50 ohm. Question number 4. A galvanometer has a resistance of 50 ohm. Galvanometer resistance is considered to be capital G. A resistance of 5 ohm is connected across its terminal. Across. It is the shunt. It must be shunt. Across in parallel, right? What part of total current will flow through the galvanometer? Okay, that's an interesting question. This is a galvanometer and a resistance wire like this S, which is 5 ohm, and the value of G is 50 ohm, is connected like this. It is given a resistance of 5 ohm is connected across its terminals, right? Like this. So, what part of the total current flows through the galvanometer? So, students, if the total current flowing is I, then as I mentioned, this is a junction. You can very much make use of junction rule, isn't it? Junction rule states that at a point which acts as a junction, the sum of the currents entering the junction must be exactly equal to the sum of the currents leaving the junction. So maximum current that can flow through the galvanometer is Ig. It is the current for which the galvanometer shows full scale deflection. So as per junction rule, the remaining current, which is I minus Ig, will flow through the shunt. No doubt regarding this. Again, these two currents will add up at this point, and the net current I will flow through the main circuit. Clear, students? Now what we need to find is the part of the total current which flows through the galvanometer. So current flowing through the galvanometer is Ig and the total current is I. So this is the part of the total current which flows through the galvanometer. So this is to be found, to be calculated. Clear, students? Now as I told you, these two, they are connected in parallel. In parallel, the potential difference is constant. So since galvanometer and resistance S are connected in parallel, therefore PD across G, it would be equal to PD across S. So what is the potential difference across G? It is IgG. And what is the potential difference across S? It is I minus Ig, this is the current, multiplied by resistance, which is S. So let's substitute the value and we can easily get the answer. Okay, Ig. This is Ig by I is to be found. G is 50. So it will be 50 Ig. It is equal to I minus Ig, and the value of shunt, it's going to be 5. So let's solve it. So it will give us 10 Ig is equal to I minus Ig, isn't it? So 10 Ig plus Ig is equal to I, which implies that 11 Ig is equal to I. Or students, I by Ig, or rather Ig by I, this is to be found. We are supposed to find out the part of the current, part of the total current flowing through the galvanometer. So we are supposed to find out Ig divided by I. Ig is the current flowing through the galvanometer and I is the total current flowing through the main line, right? So this will become the part of the total current flowing through the galvanometer. So Ig over I, it would be equal to 1 divided by 11. So 1 by 11th part of the total current must be flowing through the galvanometer coil. Correct, students? So this is the solution. So this was again a very, very good question. Okay, students, let's proceed to the last question then. Question number 5. Question number 5 is a resistance of 900 ohm. Resistance is given to be 900 ohm is connected in series. It is connected in series with a galvanometer of resistance 100 ohm. Okay. A potential difference of 1 volt produces a deflection of 100 divisions in the galvanometer. Find the figure of merit of the galvanometer. Okay, fifth. First and foremost, we need to discuss this figure of merit of a galvanometer. Figure of merit of a galvanometer. Right? Figure of merit. Actually, the current which is required to produce a deflection of 1 degree, that is known as figure of merit of galvanometer. Right? So it is the current that produces a deflection of 1 degree. So will you remember, students? Figure of merit is the current that needs to be passed through the coil so as to produce in it a deflection of 1 degree. So this is the definition of figure of merit. And in this question we are supposed to find out the figure of merit of the given galvanometer. Well, let's consider the question now. A resistance of 900 ohm is connected in series with a galvanometer of resistance 100 ohm. This is the galvanometer. Its resistance is given to be 100 ohm. And this is a high resistance wire and its value is given to be 900 ohm. And both are connected in series. So the current would be constant, obviously. This will constitute a voltmeter. The series combination of high resistance wire with the galvanometer coil constitutes a voltmeter, right? And a potential difference of 1 volt produces a deflection of 100 divisions in the galvanometer. Find the figure of merit. Okay, it produces a deflection of 100 divisions. So 1 volt. So students, current, it would be equal to V divided by net resistance between these 2 points, which is G plus R. These two are in series. So what do you get is V is 1 divided by G is 100, R is 900. So Ig, it would be equal to 1 by 1000. So it is equal to 10 raised to power minus 3 ampere. So what it means is, for a current of 10 raised to power minus 3 ampere, the galvanometer shows or produces a deflection of 100 divisions. Clear, students? So therefore, for producing a deflection of 100 divisions, current required is 10 raised to power minus 3 ampere. Clear? Which implies that we need to find out the figure of merit, which is the current that is required to produce a deflection of 1 degree or 1 division. Actually, it is the current that produces a deflection of 1 unit. Right? Okay. So for producing a deflection one division, the current would be, for 100 it is 10 to minus 3. So for one division the current would be 10 to minus 3 divided by 100. So the answer would be 10 to the power minus 5 ampere per division. Per division. This is the answer. So in order to produce deflection of one division, the current required is 10 to the power minus 5 ampere. This is known as the figure of merit of the galvanometer, right? So figure of merit of a galvanometer is actually the current that enables a deflection of 1 unit, or that enables a deflection of 1 division, 1 unit or 1 division. You can write anything. So that's the definition of figure of merit. So we are over with question number 5 as well. So students, I hope you have understood all these 5 questions, right? So that's it for this particular session. So do take very good care of yourself and do join me in my next session. Till then, bye bye and thank you.